Hey everyone, I just wanted to do an update video on my Star Trek series, my reviews of what's going on with Picard Season 2. Oh, sorry, that's the rabbit making noise. And to answer your next obvious question, did you literally buy the Picard vest from Insurrection and First Contact in order to do this video? The answer is yes, and you haven't even seen my Kirk one, and this is also the Picard engineering one underneath it, so rocking the full-on outfit, and we got the oops, oh, wrong side, and we got the all good things comm badge as well going on because we are discussing Picard season 2 trailer. So I did watch all of Picard from start to finish, and I was highly disappointed. And I really genuinely believe that if they do another one, it will only be in an attempt to further humiliate and degrade the ideas of Star Trek and the character of Jean-Luc Picard. I found it extremely insulting, and I feel like that the same thing that they're doing with He-Man, Luke Skywalker, Picard, you could take any other hero. They are in a process of humiliating and diminishing them to the largest degree that they can. So, before I get into my analysis of the two trailers that have been done, I would like to highlight the first one. The first one is the one with Q in it. Well, they both have Q in it, but the first one actually has John Delaney in it, Delancey Delaney, I think, in it, who is the original actor for Q. And he basically said that, you know, he sees Picard and he says, "You're older than I thought you were going to be." And it obviously reminded me of, and that's exactly why I'm wearing this uniform today, is that the All Good Things, the end of Next Generation, the last episode, which was a two-parter, and in my opinion, one of the best two-parters that they ever made in the series, it kind of addressed all this stuff already. The time loops, where Jean-Luc Picard was jumping from timeline to timeline, where he was an old man, you know, and all sorts of things where Beverly was, you know, the captain, and they had the All Good Things uniform, which personally is one of my favorites, and which is the same uniform that they use at the end of Voyager as well in the alternative universe, where Janeway gets back, but Chakotay dies, Seven of Nine dies, etc. All that kind of stuff. And I really think that as a Star Trek fan, obviously, I mean, do I really have to say that considering what I'm wearing right now? But the lengths that I'm willing to go to, you know. But at the end of the day, I really think that if we want to preserve any of the original amazing nature of Star Trek, then we will, as fans, need to push back against some of these changes that they're trying to make. And I saw something that I did actually like in Star Trek Discovery was the mirror universe, as some not all of it, but some of the mirror universe aesthetics, the way that they brought it in, it made sense to me. And I think that when I saw the comm badge in the new trailer with Q, where he, you know, there you see Seven of Nine, and she sees her new badge, and you see the badges on them, and they look a little different. I would assume that's because the timeline has shifted, or something to do with the mirror universe, because the badges that I saw looked much more like the Terran Empire than any kind of Starfleet that I'm familiar with. So I would definitely say that Q is going to play a huge part, which is great because he's an amazing character, and I'm really glad that he's back. And he's almost like the Harry Mudd to Captain Picard, you know, to his Captain Kirk. And I definitely would say that it's something I'm going to watch. I will watch it. I will enjoy it. I will not say that I'm going to know what it's going to be 100% before it's going to come out. But I will say that after having watched Picard, I honestly would give it a rating of like 10% out of 100, because there were characters that I liked, Seven of Nine, you know, Picard, but I really honestly didn't like any of the new characters. And the way that they treated, you know, other characters from the past as well, you know, getting rid of them, unsurreptitiously torturing, you know, them removing their eyes, for example, unnecessarily. I really do believe that at some level, it's almost like they're torturing, destroying, and diminishing our old characters in front of our eyes and telling us, you're going to like this. And if you don't like this, there's something wrong with you. And I think that anyone that sees Icheb have his eye ripped out for no reason and assumes that this is somehow the Star Trek that we remember, rather than a brutalization and a postmodern take on an amazing piece of entertainment and art, which is Star Trek and the Star Trek universe, I think it is doing a disservice. If they do anything like the first Picard season, it will be doing a disservice to everyone that has literally ever worked on Star Trek. And I really don't care what some of these fans say. I really don't, because most of them don't actually have any understanding of what they're watching. These people, the kind of Star Treks that they are making that people like now, they're making them for people that are not Star Trek fans. So they're eliminating everything that made it different than Star Wars, different than Firefly, different than Stargate. You know, like there are things that start in Star Trek that put it in a different category than, you know, the Star Warses and the Battlestar Galacticas and all those kind of things. And if you remove all those elements and replace them with modern problems, modern issues, and diversity affirmative action for the writers and the actors, you're going to get something which resembles, I don't know, Sex in the City in space. It doesn't even resemble the Star Trek that I remember. The USS Enterprise, you know? The thing that we all should be trying to get back to. And I genuinely feel like that, you know, if we're going to do this kind of thing, if we're going to go 100% into reliving the old Star Trek Picard series, there's so much lore and there's so much to draw from that's when Q appeared. I was like, that's good. That's something to draw from. But if you're just, you know, the awfulness of the last show, it's almost like you have a bad taste in your mouth and you just need something to get rid of it, you know? So I had to watch a ton of DS9, Next Generation, TOS, all the good stuff in order to just cleanse, you know, the terrible Star Trek from the realm. And I genuinely, I don't know about you guys, but I don't have very much. I'm gonna watch it. I'm gonna support Star Trek, but I'm not gonna change that. I'm not gonna say, oh well, they've ruined it for me. They haven't ruined it for me. It's not yet to the point that Star Wars was. But if I genuinely see Picard drinking milk out of a giant space cow's titties, I will assume that this is what they're trying to do, and that they want all of us, you know, to be drinking from the giant fat space cow titty of progressivism, instead of enjoying our media, enjoying our Star Trek, and enjoying the things that make life worth living, you know? And I just want to finish this, you know, captain's log with just a little bit of levity and a little bit of positivity, because I've been going in on Star Trek so hard these days that, I'll be honest, even with all of the stuff, I mean, look at the ridiculous way that I'm dressed and everything. Even with the ridiculous stuff that's going on, it made me relive all of the old Star Trek stuff, you know, that it doesn't hurt me, because they can't take from you those things that they've already made and given to us, you know. Like, I've been inspired by Jean-Luc Picard, I've been inspired by Star Trek. There's nothing that they can do. They can't uninspire me, you know. Like, no matter how many bad rip-off pathetic versions they make of it in the future, they can't take away what's already been made. So that, to some degree, I know people have given up, and I actually have given up on Star Wars to some degree, because they have actually been so terrible to it and with the IP, that I actually don't trust them and don't care about them anymore, genuinely, and which is extremely sad because of how much money and time I've spent on the fandom and on the genre in Star Wars, how many books that I've read, how many games that I played, how many hours I've spent watching the movies and the content and everything. It's amazing. And even as a kid, I remember I was like, I used to print out. I didn't have like immense amounts of money, so I literally used to print out on the computer pictures of Star Wars characters and glue them onto things, like make my own Star Wars cards and games and stuff, because I just loved it so much. And I mean, you can kind of tell the nerdy, you know, the nerdy nature right here. Like, we are the people that spend money on, you know, Star Trek stuff. You know, it's not the people that they're making Picard for that are going to be buying these uniforms. It's not going to be the people who actually, that, you know, it's the people like me who are extremely critical of, you know, this perversion of Star Trek into something that it was never intended to be and never was supposed to be, and in fact, in my opinion, is so far advanced beyond modern issues that it actually diminishes the greatness of Gene Roddenberry and of his legacy when these people even attempt to claim that their system is even their version is even can even hold a candle to any episode of Star Trek, any one episode of any Star Trek made prior to Star Trek Discovery, except for J.J. Abrams, of course, movies which were awful. Any real Star Trek that was made, even the movies, even the TOS movies, is better. One show, one episode is superior to the entire catalog of CBS Star Trek and J.J. Abrams. So it doesn't matter how many horrible sequels and prequels and remixes and remakes and progressive tyrannical destructive attacks against these characters and what they stand for and the principles that Starfleet stands for. It won't change anything because, like I said, one Star Trek series, the amount of significance morally, philosophically, entertainment-wise, writing-wise, any way you look at it, there's so much greatness in one Star Trek episode that it makes up for whole seasons of whole years of incompetence and stupidity and politicization and I don't want to see right-wing Star Wars or right-wing Star Trek. I don't want to see, I don't want to see Jean-Luc Picard banning abortions or something like that. I don't want to see him, I don't know, doing something progressive. Who knows, mandating some kind of Borg injections for everyone. It's funny, like, if this was a day, nowadays they would say, please stop resisting. Resistance is futile, that kind of stuff. And that's the kind of political modern ideology and problems that I have no interest in seeing or participating in when I'm watching science fiction entertainment. I don't want a reminder of the current tyrannical medical tyranny that we're living under. I would prefer to indulge myself by immersing myself in a world of fiction and advanced technology and alien races and people getting along from all different kinds of humans from all over the galaxy, getting along, learning, and becoming a better version of themselves. That is the Star Trek that I know. That's the Star Trek that I remember. None of this perversion that we're witnessing taking place. And like I said, I don't want to see right-wing Star Trek. I don't want to see left-wing Star Trek. I just want to see Star Trek. So let's get together. Let's make things happen. Let's be the characters let's be the Starfleet that they all know that they think that we should be, that we deserve. And stardate 99283.24. This captain's log is completed. Thank you.